97 even. '97 even. '97 even. '97 even.
Rolling.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Hot Tottie with AK.
Hello. And I'm Bree.
All right. I thought you forgot your name for a second.
Oh, no, of course not. Of course not. I was just waiting for you to keep going because, you're AK. Like, there's a little bit more to the story. You never know.
Never that. So obviously, as you guys know, if you've been listening for the last couple of weeks, we want you guys to tune in. Make sure to comment below in the live, add a friend. You see that little airplane button, send it to your friends, have them join in on the conversation, and let's get to the topics.
We need more input, guys. We need more input. Like,
yes.
It's not just about us. You're all part of the convo.
Mm-hmm. So let's get into what's brewing. Are you down, Bree?
I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's sip some tea. Got my hustle mug. I'm ready.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So on this week's What's Brewing, obviously it would be a good week if we didn't talk about Kobe, that whole situation, and his assassination, because we all know it is an assassination. So honestly, how do you feel about that situation?
With the Kobe situation, everybody knows that conspiracy theories are going to come up all the time. And honestly, I feel like it is a little fishy how everything went down, and it's really tragic and it's sad. His daughter, she was on board, and I just feel like there might be more to the story if we looked into it. But then again, if you start doing that, that's when they come for you, you know? So.
I mean, we're little people, so I don't think that they're going to come for us, but we all know that
We're
it's
all
a
little people until
conspiracy
we're not.
theory behind this one, right?
I mean, let's see. Maybe there was something he was doing that we don't know about. And they're like, hey, let's get rid of this guy. He's doing too much.
I mean, I did hear like on a story like that they were talking about how he had like what's that thing? Like a open case, basically. Like he was trying to like patent, like what was it? What was it?
I don't know.
I'm sorry, I'm looking off camera.
Pharmaceutical.
He had a pharmaceutical investigation, basically. Like, well, no,
It was fake.
it was fake. Oh, I'm sorry. He was trying to basically like patent like Black Mamba type shit, and they were trying to say that he was like fighting that, but according to like everybody else, they said that it was fake. But I just personally feel like they killed Kobe. There ain't no way in hell that man has been taking helicopters his whole entire life, and now all of a sudden he died in a helicopter. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Really, it was really random, and it feels like
Kind of some sick shit.
I mean, I feel like it's not the way you think he's gonna go out. You would have thought he was gonna go out because he's Kobe, like he's immortal, like he's invincible. He would die of like a long time disease, not something like this, not a helicopter crash. But
So where were you when you found out that Kobe died?
honestly, I was with my friend and we went into Dwayne Reed. And the guy, one of the cashiers, we were ringing up, and one of the cashiers on the side, he's on his phone, and he goes, oh, wow. Like, really monotone. And as a joke, I'm like, oh, that sounded really serious. Like, what was it? And he's like, Kobe Bryant died. And I was like, all right, now you took the joke too far. Like, no. And then he's like, no, I'm being serious. I'm serious. He's really dead. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, he was alive. He was just alive like 30 seconds ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you find out helicopter crash, 9 people. It's like in the blink of an eye. I don't know.
What's that girl from the Golden Girls? She still hasn't died yet.
Golden Girls.
Betty White? Betty White died? Betty White didn't die.
Betty White's still alive. If Betty White died, I think there would have been a whole thing on it. I mean, everybody.
Betty White is still alive and strong.
Of course she is.
Honestly, like I feel like we would be more like less surprised about like Betty White dying than Kobe dying. Okay, like I'm like if everybody was like Betty White died, we'd be like, oh my God, Betty White finally died because like therefore we're all waiting on this moment for Betty White to die. Like why hasn't she died? I mean, it sounds fucked up to say. But like,
I mean, it's like a why hasn't she? But once
Kobe
she does,
over
like,
Betty White.
It was bound to happen at some point. Like there was only so much time. Somebody can be here. Everybody has their time. But Kobe, he was 41.
Betty White is 98.
Yeah, exactly. She's got at least 4 years.
Betty White has not died yet. Come on. Let's get into this. Because they don't make no sense to me.
Honestly, I don't know, maybe if we found out he was sick or something like that. I thought maybe he was just trying to fake his death. I thought maybe...
I'm going to sip from my Elmo mug, okay?
I'm just saying. Things are conspiracies, though. We all know. We all know how it goes.
I feel like personally, this was a distraction based on the coronavirus.
All the time.
They always like to kill Black people, Black influential Black people, just to make sure that we're distracted from what's going on right now in America. Because to be honest, the coronavirus is going to kill all of us. Majority.
I'm just saying, this is what it said in the Bible. I mean, it's not like, I'm just saying, I'm not trying to preach or anything.
Listen, I'm not a Bible
but
thumper,
I read it.
though.
No, I mean, it's not even about that. It's just, if you think about it, we got a lot of stuff going on. Like, a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's a little too much, and we might be cleansed soon. That's all I'm saying.
You got earthquakes in Jamaica and Cuba. You got Antarctica getting floods. You got coronavirus. You got Kobe Bryant dying. Like,
you got the fires.
We're doomed. Oh, yeah. I forgot about the fires.
In California and Australia. So not just one place.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just saying. Next thing you know,
so
somebody's pulling up to your house. Like, hey, get on this boat. 2 of every animal. Like, it's a short list, man. You better make it in. Get in where you fit in.
What animal would I fit in as? I need to figure it out because
honestly,
I'm trying to get on the boat.
Like, I'm used to squeezing in on the train. I will get my spot. All right, you gotta get to work. You find your space on the train. You gotta get on that arc. You get some space on that arc. I don't care if I'm laying under a camel. Like, we are making it.
You trying to lay under a camel?
What? I mean, to see the
I might just swag surf it out, okay? I'm going to swag surf it out. Hopefully I see you on the other side.
Yeah, I don't want to drown. That's a bad way to go.
Hopefully there's a DJ at the end of the world.
Maybe one.
Maybe one. He better be lit, though. He better be lit.
But yeah, I feel like this whole thing with Kobe, it's all part of the universe's plan, and I think there's going to be more to come. I mean, we'll see. We definitely will see.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you think? Who do you think is next?
I can't put no plans on it because the Golden Girl bitch still hasn't died yet. So I don't know.
Honestly, when I was leaving that Dwayne Reed, I was just like,
was it Betty White? Betty White?
Nobody is safe.
Betty White?
Like,
no, Betty White is still alive, so we're still good as far as I'm concerned. I don't care. I mean, that was definitely a shock to the nation. I feel like we all were surprised. We all were not suspecting that. But at the end of the day, I feel like that was an assassination. I don't feel like that was like coincidental. And if I go missing in the next week or two, then obviously I have reached the platform that I wanted to reach.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you make it, you make it. Like, somebody said to me, what was it? They were like, if you made your impact by the time that you died, then that was just your time to go. I mean, some people don't make their impact by the time they die, or like they don't know what their purpose is when they die. But it's just like, some people, they have a monumental impact. And it's like, they're like, if he made it all the way to 98, they'd be like, oh, he's that basketball player. But because like he died now, he's gonna be frozen.
And they're actually talking about changing the NBA logo to Kobe now. So we'll see what happens with that.
I just don't want this to become one of those overkill things. Oh, bad choice of words.
No, I mean, for real. We don't understand. Those who are listening,
I just don't want it to be one of those things where they're like, oh, now we need to change it to like, instead of Fifth Avenue Bryant Park, it could be like Kobe Bryant Park. It's like we can keep things as they are. Like, people die all the time.
People die every day, B.
Yeah, it's not like he was murdered like Nipsey. Nipsey was shot. I want to see like...
He was assassinated, though. We all know he was killed. We all know he was killed.
So
and that's just it. I mean, Smile Brit said Betty White is 98, bro. Whoever on Betty White's side, I need them on mine. Okay? I'm trying to make it to 100.
Diet. It's her
Huh?
diet, real.
It's her diet.
Yeah.
What?
Betty White.
Like what? Betty White's diet is keeping her alive to 98?
Yes.
When black people are getting knocked off every day, B?
That and her money. I mean, there are a lot
Listen,
of
they got money too.
That's not the point.
They got money too, but it's better to kill a black folk than to kill a white person. White people shit. But let's get into the next bit. How do you feel about that?
I'm
you
sorry.
You gonna say it or I'm gonna say it?
Oh, I didn't hear what you said.
I said let's get into the next topic.
Oh, okay. So I'm ready.
Are you gonna say it?
Oh yeah, I'm fine.
Hump
day.
Let's get into it.
That's my favorite part. I love that commercial. It's just, it's so funny. So funny. Anyway, so for hump
They're
day,
rolling. Wait. Pause. We're waiting on the go. 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so this week we're going to talk about threesomes.
My favorite topic.
Oh, is it? I had no idea.
Oh my gosh, who knew?
So I feel like everybody, they think about it. Not everybody has done it. But what would you think? What would you tell people about threesomes? You know, what would you tell them the etiquette is?
I personally feel like if you're gonna have a threesome, you need to be sure that you're having a threesome for yourself and not for anybody else, right? And you need to make sure that like you're comfortable with the people that you're having a threesome with, or you're comfortable with the person that you're allowing to have a threesome with you, right? So you and your partner need to be so connected that it's like I can't be affected by anything else that's going on, right? Also, I would like to say safety, making sure that whoever you're deciding to let in your bedroom is a person who is looking out for your best, safe, and well-being, and that you guys are all clean or whatever the fuck it is. But just be safe. Like, you're adding another person in there, and also you have to protect your pH balance. Because your pH balance is like the most important part of all of this, right? Because you can have a threesome and you could be knocked off your pH balance like for a couple of days, and you don't even know why your vagina is feeling the way it feels or whatever else it may be, but whatever. So that's my only thing towards threesomes. But I say have them, just be safe and be very selective who you have a threesome with. And like, don't be afraid, because like at the end of the day, if your man is going to run off with another bitch, he's going to run off with another bitch regardless. At least have fun in the meantime.
Word, chica. I feel you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like threesomes, it depends who you do it with. Yeah. Sometimes they're fun, like one and done kind of things, and then sometimes they're fun all the time. And then it's also about the dynamic, because you can't do it if you're gonna be like you said, you can't do it if you're gonna be upset. So, like, if I was gonna do it with a friend, like we were already friends, then we'd have an understanding. If I was gonna do it with like a boyfriend, then we'd already have an understanding, or like a guy that I'm with, then we'd have an understanding. But I don't think, actually, I don't think that I would do it with like another girl. So,
You're saying you would never have another threesome?
I didn't say
Well,
never.
a threesome.
Another?
I'm
I
sorry,
did
and like
never. I said I
a
would do it
threesome.
with another girl. I don't think. I mean, maybe, but
So, what would
in
your
terms of like
threesome
pleasure,
entail?
huh?
What would your threesome entail?
3 people.
Like, are you saying like 2 girls, 1 guy, 2 guys, 1 girl? What are we talking about?
I said what I said. I said what I said. I'm just saying, I feel like there are certain things that can be, I don't even know the word. It's just to meet the maximum point. It'd probably be better like 2 guys, 1 girl, but everybody has their preferences.
Honestly, 2 guys, 1 girl is rather lit. I'm not gonna hold you
I would assume so.
because you get to be like the center of attention. Like everybody's there for you. They're just loving up on you, and it's just great. But I mean, I would also say like don't have a threesome with your partner unless
Oh yeah, I don't feel like
you're
you're
ready
supposed
to
to do
eat.
that kind of threesome with like a boyfriend because next thing you know, it becomes this whole thing. It's like not always, obviously, not
Mm-hmm.
always, but it's a very big possibility. Like I feel like when a girl brings another girl into a threesome, like sometimes boyfriends will like or partners they'll like suggest it, and then the other person doesn't want to do it, but they do it for them, and right there, it's like that's when the whole thing is ruined because now you're doing it for somebody else, you're not doing it for yourself, and then afterwards,
Ladies, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, right? Do not have a threesome because your partner wants it. Only have it because you want it. That's it. That works. I'm just bouncing on camera. That's okay with me. But yeah, like if you don't want to have a threesome and like your partner is suggesting a threesome and that's not for you, if he wants it, then that's what he wants. If you can't fulfill that, then maybe you have to discuss like what your boundaries are. And if he can't get with that shit, then you have to leave him. Because obviously he wants something more and that's something that you cannot fulfill. And you have to just like, let him go. It's very simple.
honestly, I feel like if you say no and then somebody still asks you, then you kind of just have to move on because it's like I already said no. I already said no. So right there, why would you ask me again? Because that means that you really want this. I'm just not in that
I
kind of
just
mood.
personally feel like people use threesomes often to be like, all right, cool, like let's like, I want to explore my odds, like I want to go out and live free or X, Y, and Z. But also, a lot of these niggas are out here wanting threesomes and they don't have threesome dick. They don't have threesome dick. They
Like,
can't even
what is
go.
it, the 2
They can't
people
even go
now?
for round 2. They nut after 15 minutes. Am I supposed to share with another female woman or anything like that? If you can't do shit in 15, like you can't do anything after 15 minutes. But let me get to these comments real quick. Don't ask me for shit. Said threesomes have to be mutual. Lots of communication has to take place so everyone is clear and boundaries are established. It doesn't have to be airtight because shit, things can happen. But at the core of everyone involved needs to know exactly what the setup/situation is. And check-ins are so important because shit can turn quick. And maturity. Everyone wants to have a threesome, but not everyone can handle it. Every relationship is different. Some people have threesomes often, and some people have it once in a while.
Some people have threesomes for special occasions, and I feel like that's something where you want to things up, you want to spice things up, and if that's your thing, then that's your thing. Like, don't knock anybody's
Mm-hmm.
hustle, you know. Don't knock anybody's hustle.
Some
Okay.
people have threesomes because they need it. Some people
Sometimes
literally
people
have
like the
threesomes
extra
because they need it.
pleasure or the addition or like just
Yeah.
because. I mean, I feel like 2 can be much better than 1. Imagine one person who knows what they're doing. Like they really know you. Fuck what they do with other people. For you, it's really, really working. You don't have to tell them anything, nothing. Imagine 2 of that. Like, that's 4 hands. What? Oh, yeah.
Smile Brit said my friend used to gift threesomes to her man for special occasions like birthdays and holidays. Would you ever gift your man a threesome for birthdays or holidays?
I mean, it depends. What man? Like,
That's your man. That's like that's your man.
it depends what girl. Or what, like maybe.
You get to pick her. You get to pick her.
No, I mean, yeah, but like, it depends what man. Like, I'm just gonna leave it there because I feel like certain men, like, I'll know, okay, we can do this and we'll be good after this. And then other ones, you just cannot do those things. Like, you just can't open that door because then it's like when you've only been letting your dog out to the backyard and then one day you're like, you know what? Let's go around the neighborhood. And they're like, oh my gosh, look at these real fire hydrants. Like, it's like, no, like you have a perfectly good fire hydrant, like a real fire hydrant in the backyard that I got for you special. And now you want to go look at these other fire hydrants and trees and stuff? I don't think so. You have a nice, clean, groomed backyard readily available. Right there.
Yo, what?
I'm just
What?
saying. I'm just saying.
Into the comments. Don't ask me for shit. Said my first and only threesome was 10 years ago. I'm more mature and sexually in tune and connected with my partner to have a threesome. But LOL, I'm ugly. And that's a lie. Yo, I did that. And then she also said, yo, I did that birthday threesome shit. And it was just really self-serving for him. I will say I confirmed in that moment I had an attraction and sexual feeling for women. But outside of that, that's what the emoji looks like to me. I'm not gifting you a threesome for your birthday. If we're gonna have a threesome, then we're gonna just have a threesome. It doesn't matter what day of the week it is. It could be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm not saying because it's your birthday, I feel like I need to throw a threesome your way. Because honestly, I want that time for myself. Like, I worked hard to be here. So your birthday is my holiday. The fuck? It's our holiday. It's a selfish ass holiday. Okay? I'm not sharing it with some other bitch. Like, you got me fucked up.
Put the Y in parentheses. And then that's when you put the Y in parentheses and you say, our birthday.
Exactly. It's our birthday. It's our birthday from now on until the end of time, until you break up with me or until you get rid of me. Like, the fuck? We're celebrating birthdays together. You turn whatever. I turn whatever.
Wow. No happy birthday? She's like, wow.
Yo. You don't have to have threesomes on, like, off month. Like, what happens in, like, fucking March? Nothing happens in March, right?
Like, if you're just like,
yeah, like we don't need to plan no threesomes. It needs to like just happen. Like, just needs to just be like.
I mean, unless you start to get comfortable with an idea of a threesome around a holiday. You know, like sometimes people will really think like, oh, it's Valentine's Day. Like, should I do a threesome? So it might open up that idea in their minds. But like, you shouldn't do it.
I'd be fucking damned if I shared my Valentine's Day.
No,
are you dumb?
I'm just saying, you know, some people do that.
Valentine's Day threesome.
And some people don't think of it as sharing.
We can link up on the 16th.
Both of them.
You said 16th, the 17th, the 18th, the 19th, the 20th, the end of the month. I'm not linking up on no Valentine's Day.
LOL.
You got me fucked. Like, don't ask me for shit. Say March Madness. Okay, we can link up for that.
But wait,
you want to watch the games together?
Don't
You want to
ask
watch
shit.
Super Bowl Sunday together? You don't?
But wait, she said, your birthday is our holiday. That dick is mine. Okay. 363 days out the year we can share. My birthday is a fucking month-long celebration. I'm dead.
Hello. No threesomes happening in the month of May. Whatever the fuck you want to do every other month, I guess. But unless my family knows about you, then it's your dub. It's your dub. I don't care. Smile Destiny said hi. Hey Destiny.
Hey Destiny.
You want to get into the next segment?
Well, I'll just say this last thing. I feel like threesomes can be very, very fun. And I feel like when you do it right, you know, you can end up with like cucumber slices all over the place. You know, it's just you can really get into it. So if you do it right, you will get results. That's all I'm saying. So no matter what kind of combo you do, no matter what your style is, make sure you do it right. That's all I was gonna say.
Do you know my life? Do you know my life? Have you been spying on me?
What are you talking about?
Are you it feels a little subliminal here, okay? Let's go into the next topic. I think it's time to wind down because it's time for me to leave. Okay?
Let's wind down, okay? Cheers. Eye contact. Let's go.
Wait,
all the way over here.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Wow.
All right. So, for wind down, today we're going to talk about a very interesting topic. Are you okay, Elmo?
Listen. I felt personally attacked about the cucumber slices, and I don't know where that came from, but it felt very personal because for some reason I cannot and I can relate. Bye. Let's go into the wind down topic.
Okay, so this is a very pertinent topic, okay? Who should get served first? Your man or your kids? Or yourself?
Okay.
So, what do you think? What do you think?
I personally had this conversation with my partner earlier today. And I asked him this conversation. I asked him this question, actually. And he was like, oh, I mean, if we're all starving and dying in this world, then, I mean, my children should get fed first. And I'm like, every time we ask this question, people automatically assume that somebody is dying or, like, we're in, like, World War X. And, like,
I've never heard that.
We need to feed them first. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like they feel like we're struggling or X, Y, and Z. So I had to rephrase the question and saying, like, if nobody's struggling, we're not, like, on our last meal, we're not on anything like that.
Shut the damn dinner table.
Like, we're talking about, like, there's adequate enough groceries in the fridge, in the deep freezer, because, you know, Black people have deep freezers. And we have multiple freezers, we have multiple fridges, like, everything like that. So I'm just like, at the end of the day, my man will always get fed first. And not only that, but my children will serve their father first. So they understand that, like, you know, whatever the hell it is priority. And then they get fed afterwards. And then I'll probably eat after that. But I also feel like I feel like we're now talking about millennials, right? And I feel like when it comes down to millennials, we don't know who's cooking the dinner. And we're talking about way back then. Whereas it might have been like women were cooking dinner, men were getting served, children were getting served afterwards. There might be a man cooking the dinner, right? And if my husband is cooking the dinner, then I'm getting served first too. The children could eat second. They don't contribute to the household.
I mean, to me, I feel like I've been raised where the man is supposed to get the plate first. You know, if you get a plate for yourself, get a plate for your man. Like if you're out on a barbecue or something, then you get his plate for him. And I get that, but once I have kids, like, and it might not be what actually happens when I have kids. I might feel differently once I'm like married or in a really serious relationship. And I
Mhm.
mean, I'm not trying to have kids without a ring, but life. So
Speak
I
on
just feel,
it.
hmm?
I said, speak on it.
uh, for real, like I just don't understand. I don't understand. But anyway, so I feel like I would serve my kids first, but I would try to make it so that my man was not waiting. Like I would be like, "Here, are my kids' food." They start eating, and then he can wait. I mean, he's a grown man. If my kids are not eating,
Why can't the kids wait though? Like, why would the kids
why
get
do the
served
kids have to
first? Like,
wait? Look, I mean, for me, my man will be my man,
they can
so we
wait.
will have an understanding already. Like, we will talk about these things. So it's not like I'm gonna have some man off the street and then we're starting afresh and anew, and then we have babies like right off the bat, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm serving the kids first, and he's like, we didn't discuss this. Oh my gosh, where's
No,
my
I personally
like?
don't feel like the kids did nothing to provide for that food to be on that table. They did nothing like that. But I'm going to
I
get
don't
into
care.
the
I brought them
comments
into
real
this
quick.
world. What am I supposed to do? What are they
I
supposed to
mean,
do?
you guys both brought them into this world.
Panhandle?
Therefore, you guys both should be served. But I'm going to get into the comments real quick. So, Simply Destiny said, I think it depends on how old the kids are. So, Destiny, how old do you think the kids are that they should be served first? Because, I mean, like, if they're on, like, boob or something like that, obviously enough, they're going to get fed first, regardless. Because,
That's the kind of
boob-fed
age I'm
children are
of,
always fed.
like 5,
Um,
6.
what are you saying?
I'm thinking like 5, 6.
They still could wait. Smile Brit said, coming from a Caribbean / Hispanic background, I've been raised to fix a plate for my man first. Might not be the quote unquote right thing, but honestly, it's probably what I always do. And then, don't ask me for shit. Coming from a Latina / Black household, the man gets served first. However, if my man is cooking, I want to be served and then the kids, and vice versa. I also agree it depends on the age. Smile Brit said, because the kids have lived less life, maybe. Once these niggas are 5 and up, I've trained them well. Oh, that's what Don't Ask Me for Shit said. Once these niggas are 5 and up, because they're niggas after 5, I've trained them well. They can feed themselves, especially if we do a buffet or self-serve style. I'm as I'm as Bay. I'm as Bay when he comes over. And then Simply Brit said, I agree with ass. And then Sydney said, elementary. If they can't fix their own in a perfect world, I would like for all of us to sit and eat together. I feel like we shared the same grandma. And the way that grandma had us raised, I definitely would not disagree with that.
I mean, if you have a lot of kids, then yeah, your man should eat first. But if you have like 1 or 2, then I mean, it depends. Everybody's different. Like, there are people who don't even think about it and just give their kids food first. Like, different dynamics where the husband's not even home, and then, like, now the kids are always eating first, and then the dynamic changes. Like, everything is always different. Like, I can't say exactly what I would do now. My preference would be to, like, feed my kids first. That would just be my preference. But you never know. Like, I could be so in love with the man that I'm like, look, we just buried a body yesterday. I know you're tired from lugging that body. I'm gonna feed you first.
Where did the body come into play? What do we? Wait?
That's how
What
much
do
I love
we?
him. I'm burying bodies with this man.
Wow. Okay. I don't think mine's the body. You guys did not hear this. Hopefully this part gets cut out.
I haven't killed anybody.
I just personally feel like if you and I are actually on commented and said I need to read some of the comments. I feel like if you are actually like if we're like in a partnership or something like that, and then we're both contributing to the table, we need to teach our children that, like, at the end of the day, like, this is a hierarchy kind of thing. Remember how, like, my mom would say, like, this is the big circle, this is the medium circle, this is the little circle. Like, well, she used to teach me that. And I feel like it goes the same way for, like, certain things, right? Like, if I'm working so hard to put this food on the table, I feel like whoever the partner is, especially being millennials, and actually we're not meeting, like, our normal gender norms, I feel like we need to actually sit there and start looking at things like, all right, cool. If our children are below us, which they technically are because we raised them up, they need to understand that, like, we are, like, the head of the table. And the head of the table might get there first. And even still, here's the thing. Pause, sorry. Even still, you might still serve your husband without even noticing that you're serving your husband first.
That's what I'm saying.
Because of the simple fact of, like, that just might be your thing.
That's what I'm saying. So it might be something that I'm saying now and then switches up when I meet, like, that guy where I'm like, oh, okay, like, I'm rubbing your feet, I'm making you dinner, I'm serving you first, like, you know, the kids, like, all 5 of our kids, they're serving themselves. Like, you never know. But I feel like off bat, I'm just here for the kids. Like, but we'll see. We'll see. I get where you're coming from.
I feel like a lot of people put things into kids.
But I feel like they're just, that's just how I feel. I don't know. Because
I feel like without you two, there are no kids, right?
No,
and let's say, like, I feel like this argument comes a lot of the times from single parent households where we haven't been able to see what that looks like or what that dynamic looks like. But fortunately enough for us, we've also had a grandma and a papa where we've actually seen what that dynamic looks like. Even though they might have been, like, super Southern or whatever else may be, like, at the end of the day, like, we've seen what it looks like to have a man and wife live together and raise children and raise grandchildren. And personally, I feel like at the end of the day, like, if we're all contributing, the one thing I could say about, like, being raised in that kind of situation is, like, I knew who the head of the house was. And it wasn't only Papa, because, to be honest, without grandma, there's no Papa. And let's talk about that.
I just
without no woman, there's no man.
Even though I get it, really. I just feel how I feel. Like, I get where you're coming from, and there's an age limit. I mean, it's not like I feel like they should, eat first for their whole lives. Like, 17 years old, they're getting served first. I mean, at a certain point, they're going to serve themselves, and I'm going to let, like, my husband sit down. But at the same time, he might be cooking me dinner. Like, I like having food cooked for me. And then maybe I'm working, but
that's what I'm saying. Like, and the times that your husband is cooking for you,
but there might be
you would get served first, and then your kids would get served second.
But I feel like I would, even for myself, I wouldn't think, oh, I need to get my food first, because I can always get my food. Sometimes kids can't even, like, serve themselves. So now it's like, now I have to wait. They have to wait for me to finish making the plate for them, make the plate for their sibling, make the plate for their parent, and, like, now they're waiting to eat. I just feel like they shouldn't have to wait to eat. They can just get their food first, start, then whoever else is left, they can start too. I mean,
what?
Yeah. I said what I said. I don't understand. There's no confusion here.
All right, so okay, I'm gonna go to the comments real quick.
I mean, okay, look, I'm gonna read
the comments, and then I'm gonna come back with what I gotta say. But I'm gonna read the comments real quick.
I'm gonna go and read some of these comments right now. I'll be the one to do this. Okay.
Okay.
So Smiley Britt said, "My mom has always been the head of the household. But I do remember as a kid her making steak for a nigga at 7 a.m. And I looked at her crazy, but it was also a learned behavior of serving." And Don't Ash Me for Shit said, "One thing I can say is both my parents held it down, even though I assume roles of the man of the house. My parents equally worked hard to get money and break bread and hold the house down. I never knew who made more money, so the person who has the big bag controls things isn't relevant to me. Oh, so honestly, I feel like both of those statements, I get it. It's one of those learned things, and then you see behavior, and then you repeat the same behavior because we all learn from our parents. Once you see, like, not always, but once you see, you do, and it's like sometimes people are like, "Yeah, I'm getting up at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I'm making you this breakfast." Like, this is what I'm doing for you. You're not going to get up and make it yourself. You have to work. You have to, like, get ready. I'm going to be the one to do this while you do your stuff, and it's a certain level of care. And I feel like, that's appropriate. I mean, but if you have kids, sometimes you have to, like, prioritize certain things, and then you push people to the wayside, and you're like, oh, sorry, boo, you gotta make your own breakfast. I gotta get the kids ready or something. And then
I think
other
the
times
problem
you're
is like, go.
other times you're like, oh, boo, I have time to make this breakfast for you, so that's what I'm gonna do.
Nobody got time to make
And Ash,
I just
what? Go ahead. What do you think about that?
I just personally feel like we think about this like in a matter of like, oh, the kids are starving. The kids will not make it. The kids will do X, Y, and Z. Like it's like a matter of like everybody's going to eat. It's just a matter who gets the plate dropped in front of them first. And I feel like the plate dropped in front of them first says a lot more than the simple fact of like talking about equal portions or actually not equal portions because kids don't eat as much as a grown man is going to eat, right? Just like being realistic. Unless we have some growing children and it all depends on the age and X, Y, and Z. But it all truly depends on who that plate is dropped in front of first. And that's what we're talking about. So therefore, you're not going to drop a plate in front of a 1-year-old first versus the freaking person who actually paid to put the food on the table. We're going to put that food on the table in front of the man who actually contributed to putting that food on the table first.
I mean, maybe
And that's just really what it boils down to. The 1-year-old is probably not even going to eat food, and they actually need to be assisted to eat food so they get their meal the last.
The man's plate together, he can feed his child. Maybe he can do that while I'm getting the food together. If I cooked all this food, then why do I have to sit down and feed the child?
And maybe he needs to start eating first so the 1-year-old could eat their steak last. Okay? I'm just saying. At the end of the day,
if CJ Deem said nobody got time to make steak in the morning, lol, and don't ask me for shits and facts, lol, especially at gosh darn 7 a.m. It doesn't say gosh darn, but
is DJ Deem said a 1-year-old might not know what to even do with that food. They might not even need an example. And then don't ask me for shit said I might get creative and call Uber Eats to send breakfast to Bay at work sometime I'll get up early and make him breakfast, but it will not be a routine. Meal preparation is not just an adulting thing. It's prep those kids' meals too.
Facts. That's what I'm saying. Like,
and I agree with it, but I feel like the true argument is a matter of who gets the first plate of food. Regardless, if we set out, let's say we're a family of 5, right? And all 5 plates look the exact same way. My husband or my partner, depending on man, woman, or whatever the fuck it may be, is going to get that first. That's it.
Well, I get how you feel, boo. I get how you feel. Maybe I'll feel that way one day too.
DJ Dean said he'll eat wifey in the morning, though.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
They're clearly on some vampire diet type shit. Yeah, so let's wrap up this thing. I feel like we have to just like shake on it, agree to disagree.
Yeah,
because
I mean, at least
we ain't here with it.
Everybody's getting fed. That's really the bottom line. I mean, we can
everybody
talk
eating.
about it.
It just matters. Yeah, I just feel like the husband got to eat first, okay?
Yeah. It's just like whatever your preference is, as long as your partner is happy with it and your kids, well, People are like, kids don't have to say, but you know, as long as your kids aren't feeling some kind of way, I think you're good. Like,
kids can't feel no type of way. They sitting here shit, eating, sleep for free. The fuck? How do you feel some type of way? You don't
depends
contribute
on
to
the
the
living
bills until you're
situation.
18,
You
and
never
they
know.
don't still
A lot
contribute
of
to the
parents,
bills.
a lot of people
How many of us live for free? The
A
fuck?
lot of people prioritize their significant over others over their kids, and I feel like that's where you also have to draw the line.
We're
because
talking
you
about
shouldn't
bad
feeling
prioritizing, like whatever situations.
what?
I feel like we're assuming the worst. I feel like
Yeah, we're
assuming
not
the worst
assuming the
out of
worst. I didn't say anything about
situations
anybody starving.
versus
I don't think it has to be about starving. We could be rich, but guess what? If you have
you're
somebody
talking about
like you,
prioritizing significant others over children. We're talking about a healthy, full-blown
no,
ass
I know who
relationship.
gets served first, but I'm saying if that becomes the case, like, then sometimes you have to prioritize your kids. I mean, sometimes that's the first step.
I mean, if it's an ancient nigga, then he not getting fed first. I'm gonna feed the baby before
sometimes
I
they're
feed
not,
him.
and they still get fed first. That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna hock the baby on my boob. I'm gonna feed all them other little niggas, and I'm gonna call it a day. But let's wrap this up. Wrap this up.
So honestly, everything about Kobe, I feel like it's a crazy situation. We should look a little bit deeper into it. It's really tragic, and I mean, once we figure it out, I mean, maybe there's nothing to figure out, but once we figure it out, you guys will see it. You guys will see. I'm telling you, about to get cleansed.
Do you have anything coming up that the people should know about, Bree?
Well, you can catch me on Quality Time Network every Wednesday, obviously. And right now, I'm just working on myself. I mean, I've got things in the works. I'm always moving and shaking. But you guys will see me. Don't worry. What about you, AK? What's coming up?
That working on yourself bullshit sounds amazing. Not bullshit, but you know how I feel. I feel like working on yourself sounds amazing. As you guys know, you guys can always follow me and like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube at Sex Talk with AK. You can follow me on Instagram at AK Explains It All. Yeah, just stay tuned. I recently did a photo shoot. Make sure to stay tuned for those photos.
I saw you.
Trying to break the gram a day at a time.
Yes, girl. Yes.
That's it. Like, I mean,
and
let's
make
the
follow
best of it.
On Instagram at naturally.breezy_ and check out our page. Hot.Tottie _ AK Bree. So always stay tuned.
And, make sure to follow us. Stay tuned. And we'll see you next week. Bye, guys.